Hello everybody, welcome. We are going to be going over our states of matter card sort. So that you should only be watching this if you've already given it a try yourself. So if you haven't done that first, go work on it yourself and then come back when you're ready to correct your answers. So let's get started. Let's start with our pictures right here at the top. We're going to start with our little box that has our particles all spread out. We know that our state of matter where the particles are the most spread out is our gas state. Next, we have our particles all closely packed together in one little shape. We know the state of matter where that the particles are the most packed together is solid. Next, we have our particles. They're still pretty close, but more spread out than our solid, and they kind of fit the shape of the container we know to be liquid. Next, let's start on our little word boxes here. Particles move apart when they collide. So we know if they're having that much movement, it's going to be a gas, because our gas state of matter has the most particle movement. Next, we have our particles flow. What state of matter do we know flows? That would be liquid. And then which state has the slowest moving particles? Our slowest moving particle state of matter is our solid state of matter. Then what has no defined shape? We know that is gas. Finally, our next one, particles are bonded together. When are they bonded the most closely together? They're bonded in our solid shape, or our solid state of matter, I mean. Let's leave the examples to last. Let's see, what has a defined shape? We know that our solid usually has a defined shape, right? Because it's all packed together nice and tight. Our next box, let's do this one up top. Particles are attracted and stay close together. So they're not quite as close as maybe our solid, but it goes under our liquid, because our liquid state of matter, those particles are kind of moving around, but they're attracted together and they kind of stay together. Let's go to this one down here. Takes the shape of its container. We also know that to be liquid. They fill the container, they make the shape. When you have a glass of water, the water is in the shape of that glass. And then our particles diffuse or spread very fast. We know that would be our gas, correct. Particles diffuse very fast when they're moving around really quickly. So now let's get into our examples. So what's an example? Our water vapor would be an example of gas. Our example of water would be an example of liquid. Example of ice cube would be solid, because solid water is an ice cube. Carbon dioxide is another example of a gas. Apple juice is an example of a liquid. And a pencil is an example of a solid. So now that we have checked all of our answers, move yours accordingly so that it matches this. You can use this as your guideline, and then you can actually use your version of this that you corrected and made sure that everything was correct as our notes for part of this unit. So if you ever need a refresher on what a solid, a liquid, or a gas is, this is a nice, concise way to look and double check your understanding of each of these three states of matter.